The morning mist hung low over the harbor as Tom and Rick prepared their fishing vessel, the salty tang of the sea mixing with the acrid scent of diesel fuel. Around them, the docks buzzed with activity, nets being mended, engines coughing to life, the occasional shouted joke between crews. It was shaping up to be an ordinary day until the rival boats came roaring into port, their decks overflowing with fish. One of the rival fishermen, his face flushed with excitement, pressed a slip of paper into Rick's calloused hand. "There's a warm water pocket about 15 miles northeast," he said, his voice barely containing his glee. "Fish are jumping right into the boat. Get there before it disappears." The coordinates burned in Rick's palm like a secret too good to keep. Within the hour, their boat was cutting through the waves, the crew's laughter loud over the engine's growl. At first, it seemed like every fisherman's dream. The water ahead shimmered with unnatural warmth, and the surface boiled with fish. Not just the usual catch, but species that rarely school together. Nets were readied, hands gripped the edges in anticipation. Then, Tom saw the fin. It cut through the water with silent menace, longer than any shark's, darker than the depths it emerged from. The crew fell silent as the creature circled, its movements too deliberate, too intelligent. When their nets hit the water, the attack came instantly, not the mindless thrashing of an entangled animal, but precise, calculated strikes that shredded their gear with terrifying efficiency. Then it breached. The creature launched from the water in an explosion of foam, revealing a body that defied explanation. Massive, blue-gray, with eyes that seemed to hold ancient knowledge. As it crashed back beneath the waves, the resulting swell nearly capsized their boat. This was no shark. This was something older, something wiser. The crew stood paralyzed, seawater dripping from their faces, when the young deckhand voiced what they all feared. "It's trying to tell us something." Against every instinct, they followed. The water grew darker as they pursued the creature's erratic path, the temperature rising unnaturally. Then the smell hit, thick, chemical, clinging to their nostrils like oil. On the horizon, the silhouettes of industrial ships loomed, their decks bristling with equipment that churned the sea into a toxic soup. Dark plumes spread from their hulls, staining the ocean for miles. The creature had led them to a nightmare. For hours, they documented the illegal dumping operation, Tom's hands shaking as he filmed the evidence. When one of the ships spotted them, the horn blast sent them fleeing, their boat skimming the waves as the crew cast fearful glances backward. That night, back in port, they uploaded the footage to every authority they could think of: marine biologists, environmental agencies, news outlets. The response was immediate and overwhelming. A marine biologist called within days, her voice trembling with excitement. The creature, she explained, was a deep-sea whale, thought extinct for decades, an intelligent, profoundly rare being that had chosen to reveal itself to stop this ecological crime. The footage went viral, sparking international outrage. The dumping ships were impounded, their parent companies fined into oblivion. New ocean protection laws were drafted bearing the whale's image. Tom and Rick returned to fishing, but they were different men now. Sometimes, when the light hits the waves just right, they'll pause their work and scan the horizon, hoping for one more glimpse of the guardian that changed their lives. The ocean keeps its secrets well, but they know. Somewhere in those dark depths, it's still watching, still protecting, And if the sea ever calls for help again, they'll be ready to answer.